3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good rotation of the earth. I am happy to address everybody today as the World Crown and as the head of global security. I am responsible for protecting your money, banks, businesses, schools, and governments, and for making sure you get justice with regards to today's news and information conspiracy. I wish to extend everyone from around the world a Merry Christmas Eve from Chateau Santa Maria in Mazatlan. Chateau Santa Maria in Mazatlan is also another address of the offices of the Angelcraft Foundation for Education in Mexico. It is also a residential retreat of the Crown, which for me is a mini metropolitan Camp David. It is destined to be a small place for nuns to gather and to retreat to, and to take care of any of my girls who wish to enjoy a special retreat in the company of nuns and the Holy Spirit. We are going to have many of these around the world once this conspiracy of lies and of darkness is over. I want to wish everybody happy holidays, each in their part of the world and according to the traditions and the faith that the Holy Spirit has helped to place in your hearts, your minds, and your lives. Religion is a very broad subject, and I am involved and interested in every aspect of religion and all good religious creeds and good religious faith in this world. Today, the Holy Spirit and myself are very concerned about the lives of atheists and people in general. We are very involved in the lives of atheists through prayer, psychology, intercession, and intervention. Intercessory prayer is a safe method of intervention in anyone's life when all else fails, and even before anything bad might happen. Atheism is a spiritual condition. By its own definitions and tenets, atheism defines itself as a spiritual condition. And anything of spiritual value is important to me. I would like to remind the general audience that there are children atheists still, and adults who are conditioned to be atheists, who need our help and prayers. I wish to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas now to all atheists and also to the general public, and extend the hope of greater awareness in your lives by way of learning, by way of wisdom, and by way of knowledge. I wish right now for everyone to join me in a moment of silence in the Spirit for a very special holiday greeting to our brothers and sisters of Islam, a very pious faith and a very respectful and blessed religion, and for all people from the different religions around the world who lost men, women, and children to today's conspiracy. Thank you. Today we are in the process of greater religious and spiritual unification, yet we are still way short of a one world religion. Love, goodness, faith in God, and peace and harmony of the Holy Spirit is what bind us. It is good to know that there is unity among us in all good religions and peace between us. Together we are bound by a greater peace than anything we can achieve on our own. My peace I give you, and I offer the peace of the Holy Spirit to anyone who will receive it now. Thank you. The list of topics for today's brief address are education, security, and public health. In education, the task before us is to better define our history and to write history better than those who came before us. In this task, we will include all types of people and writers. We will include people who are not part of any fraternal poisonous root or conspiracy that still plagues our society with the same information that we have in the conspiracy today. Our current history is not bad, but it is like a racehorse in need always of a running mate, meaning more good written history to balance out any kind of conspiracy history that may be overwhelming to our historical archives at this time. In the United States, this would mean more educational information about the Kennedy brothers and less Kennedy propaganda before the eyes and ears of Americans. We have to move away from communist influence in all our governments. Communists and the people of secret society who support the white supremacy movement and the main conspiracy group are responsible for the problems in society. History remains a valuable learning tool for us. I would remind the general public that nothing other than terrorism these last 7 years is their political history. I would admonish students and teachers to concentrate on educational subjects, accomplishments, and achievements that are detached from conspiracy politics. We have had lots of solid work in many areas of education and research these last 7 years that can be detached or filtered out from all associations from the political conspiracy news group. For the public record, I have made no decree, nor have initiated any extreme legislation that will undermine this world. For the public record, I have made no decree, nor have I initiated any extreme legislation that will undermine your lives, your hopes, your dreams, or even your university degree that you achieved during these last 7 years. Any strange legislation comes from terrorism and secret societies. It is terrorists that look to undermine your lives, your money, your families, and exploit the human and financial resources of each country in this world. Now to address matters of global security. We remain in a general state of emergency for political news and general information. I am making emergency provisions to make sure I communicate with you this next year at least once a month while we remain in emergency status, which makes things difficult for everyone. I remain in a fixed military and justice posture with regards to our struggle with terrorism and continue to provide technical and spiritual support with the help and blessing of God's Holy Spirit, and I work to shut down all finances of terrorists. Nobody wishes to pay for or to finance their own destruction. The drone program is a security concern around the world. We still have a problem in society with human drones. A drone is someone under the control of terrorists or controlled by terrorist information. If any such people become aggressive or becomes a serious danger to society or themselves through their actions, they will be brought to justice. Right now, the problem with human drones is through the promotion of false information, such as the Donald Trump conspiracy news or its equivalent in any given country. With regards to this human drone problem, I feel many people are helped naturally as time passes. Others can be helped through rehabilitation and spending time in prison, but we cannot use violence against drones or force them to tell the truth but we can bring them to justice. And if the we in justice fails, then I can bring them to justice. People who have been drones these last 7 years need to re-examine their lives and evaluate the damage that they have caused to students and to the general public. People who have woken up need to see what they can do to help the same society that they injured with lies. As human drones, people facilitated terrorist lies and terrorist information. For many people, this is something that is very pardonable. Most people find that their healing from being a drone can be accomplished very easily. Just stop believing in the Donald Trump news conspiracy or its equivalent in your country. If you are a mental health professional or a teacher who has been a victim of the drone program, a good apology to your students and clients is a good way to start your new year and to keep your licenses and your jobs. All people and all professionals need to be truthful. Ahead of us remains the critical task of becoming a society filled with solid information, as opposed to a people living in a false world crafted by the lies of terrorists. For new people, men and women who have changed to our side, it is time to take your stand now, and do not be afraid. Together we have God's blessing and protection to move forward in civilization. With regards to public health, we have many victims of the drone program, all different ages, and each one with different capacities. We have to look for solutions in society to get people into therapy and counseling, and avoid sending good young men and women to prison. But whatever it takes, though no intentional violence is to be used against anyone. If we act proactively, we can save the lives and reputations of many regular people while still protecting ourselves from the conspiracy that looks to destroy the moral fabric of society. There is nothing more important now than taking down all conspiracy news and helping people to recover, while also reflecting from my writings, which will not be taken down. My writings serve as a reminder of what damage people can do to other people's property, as well as warnings to the general public. My warnings and my work are necessary for public health and to keep everyone's economy going. Now continuing in public health. I am very excited about the new public health militaries and public health human development programs around the world. I look forward to the day that every man or woman who enters the military becomes a general officer with the specialty of their heart's desire. The following are suggestions to my administrators with regards to public health military educational programs as educational titles that can be achieved while serving as in the public health military, the only kind of military that exists. The following are suggestions to my administrators with regards to public health military education programs for educational titles that can be achieved while serving in a public health military, the only kind of military that exists. A general medical officer with a specialty. A general educational officer. A general educational officer with a specialty. A general science officer. A general science officer with a specialty. Specialties are like a college major. A level 1 officer can be a general education officer with no declared specialty. But all officers are de facto medical officers, first grade, with superior training in first aid, and can be EMTs or medical assistants in a 2-year program that can be extended as long as needed in dual environment, civilian and military contexts until the man or woman finishes their 2-year degree program. A 2-year degree is a standard expectation level for all men and women who enter the service, no matter how long it takes them to achieve their 2-year degree. Your title as an officer in public health militaries, levels 1 through 5, is a designation that you retain for the rest of your lives and must keep up for reasons of public health, even after you start working as a civilian. Your title gives you privileges over your lifetime and faster access to important government personnel administrators and supervising officers who can get things done more quickly to help you in any personal life problems that you may have. Everyone in the military must agree to reserve duty or service with pay in the event of a national emergency or for peacetime exercises. In the new public health military, you never leave the military, and it's hard to be kicked out. Lots of intervention will be made available to help keep you in your human development program as you work to become a medical officer or a general officer level 1 medical assistant. The new public health militaries are designed to be interventions also into the lives of any man or woman who may have problems. In the history of the military, judges have given young men and women a second chance by joining the military, a tradition I would like to keep going. The new system is very similar to the old system of intervention, only much better, and more professional, more education, and more caring now, and more opportunities now to become an officer level 1 through 5. Being in the service requires you to conduct yourself appropriately as a civilian for the rest of your life. The military is truly now more a lifesaver than something people used to get ahead in life. The military is a resource for you and will be there for you as long as you keep up your officer status by good behavior and refresher classes and exercise requirements and reserve duty. I also see opportunities for handicapped people serving in the military. This is a general definition of the new public health militaries, and each country will have their variation on the same plan of caring presented to you generally here today. As an enlisted man or woman, you will be called to serve your country in anything your country may need, including help in major construction in any country where your services and your specialty may be needed. Major projects around the world require many different disciplines to care for personnel while they work, learn, and train. An educational officer in general construction is a 2-year degree with medical assistant credentials. An educational officer in general construction is a 2-year degree with medical assistant credentials. An educational officer in general engineering is a 4-year plan and will help men and women to help in the trades, industry, and government when they finish their degree in the military. The military will actively recruit men and women to its universities as usual and will have ROT representation or a public health ROT representative in every university. On a personal note, I feel fine and I am in good health. I will be more accessible and more visible to the general public as time passes and as this conspiracy dies down. It has to die down. For now, I suggest everyone continue to pray and to keep focus on the path God's Holy Spirit has put you on in personal development, education, business, banking, the military, or government. Human development is the future in every country. In a world riddled with disparity and inequality, a good human development caring approach can help any society to correct any level of imbalance and inequality that is the result of terrorism. Thank you, and may God's Holy Spirit help you in all things. May God's Holy Spirit lead us and guide us in every country as to what we need to do to help each other and get back up and move on with civilization. Thanks, and once again, happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. God bless you. Thank you. That's it. Thanks. It's a cut.